What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. Man, I saw an interesting post today. I know we have a lot of debate over whether bodybuilders were better in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, or if they're better now. Now, I actually think bodybuilding is constantly evolving, whereas looks change, standards change. We went through a phase where people were almost getting rewarded for more size and perhaps bigger guts. Now we're coming back to where it seems like everybody in the top five, including Nick Walker, who's an absolute mass monster, can do a vacuum pose. So the question is bodybuilding getting better or worse? And my answer is, well, I think bodybuilding's still bodybuilding. It's still great. Still people, bringing their best, biggest, most shredded, hardest physique to the stage. But is it actually getting better? I think yes. I think evolution is great. I think that we're seeing different looks over different generations. You go back to Reg Park, then you go to the Arnold era, then you have Lee Haney, then you have Dorian usher in the era of the mass monster that never truly went away. And then you have years that are just weird. You have Dorian, then you have Ronnie, right? Then you have the reign of Phil Heath and Jay Cutler. Then you have Dexter Jackson, Brandon Curry, Sean Roden, Hadi Chopin, and now you have Derek Lunsford. So you look at this progression. Hell, you go back and you have Frank Zane. So it just depends on the flavor of the month. And it seems like with judging, criteria changes as the athletes change, as the athletes evolve, as the athletes define the look of what they're chasing. And generally speaking, the guy who wins is the look they're chasing. However, I can say that since Phil Heath, we've almost downsized. And let me explain. Like before Phil Heath, like Jay Cutler had a very big, impressive physique, but not the most aesthetic physique, not the best V-taper. I would even say maybe a little bit blocky compared to the guys we have now. I know he's not blocky, but in comparison, it's relativity, right? You look at Sean Roden, just beautiful lines, beautiful trim, symmetry. Brandon Curry probably has no faults other than his legs being a bit undersized. You look at Brandon Curry from his arms to his back to his chest, very proportionate, very beautiful flowing physique, right? Then you look at the shorter guys. Like you got to realize the last two Olympias have both been 212 guys. They've both been 212 competitors who've gotten bigger. Now, in the 212, generally speaking, you got Kareth, you got Keon now. These are guys who can do vacuum poses, who can show and demonstrate a very aesthetic physique. And then you have your Sean's, right? And Sean is just a big ball of muscle, right? Sean is so impressive, but he's got so much muscle packed onto that barely 5-foot frame that I don't know if he could fit much more muscle on it. But you see what's happened in the 212 is we've almost come back full circle where now we have Keon winning it. And Keon, in my opinion, has the best shape in any class in bodybuilding. Classic, open, 212. I believe Keon has the best shape, the best aesthetics, the best proportions in any class in bodybuilding. However, you put him into open at his size right now, I don't see him winning because you have a Derek Lunsford who also has a small waist, flaring lats, wide shoulders, insanely large legs. And you see I see Derek head-to-head with Keon. It's not close. Derek's going to beat him. But in the 212s, you're going up against other guys like Angel even went into the open. But you see guys who are they're just well proportioned. And again, like a year ago at the New York Pro, I stood on stage with these guys. And I'll tell you what, the camera does not do justice to what these guys look like in person. The camera does not do justice with how these guys look. From open to 212 to classic. In person, you are seeing some impressive stuff. And again, I've been there through the generations. I was at the Olympia in 99. I was at the Olympia in 2000. I trained with a lot of these guys. Hell, I worked with a lot of them between 1999 and 2004 when I worked at Weider Publications. I've been there. I've seen these guys in person. I'll tell you what, Well, let's get to the actual picture I'm referring to first. Okay, guys, let's get to this picture. So shout out. I even put it on the thumbnail. So I want to give credit where credit's due. I got this off of the page, The Muscle Fitness One on Instagram. He doesn't get as many followers as a lot of the pages like his, but it's a good page to follow if you're into bodybuilding shit. And you might not be, but if you're watching this video, it's not my normal health topics, not my normal manosphere topics. It's about bodybuilding. Why? Because at the end of the day, we're going to cover bodybuilding on this channel because I'm a bodybuilder and I love bodybuilding, right? I love this shit. I will always love bodybuilding. So I'm going to point out some things I see in this picture. And then I'm going to tell you why this picture is not representative of how these gentlemen look. Number one, I mean, look at Cormier. Look at Ronnie. Like Ronnie, in my opinion, regardless of anything, and this is 99. This is when his waist was still good. This is before he became the biggest thing I've ever seen. I was there in 2003 when he got on stage after losing to Gunther Schlagerkamp at the Show of Strength. And he came back and he was angry and he was on a mission and he fucked everyone up. Dude was 290 pounds at 5'10" tall with glutes so shredded you could grate cheese on them. Like I've never seen anything like it, and we never will. No one, I don't think, people will bring insane packages, but I was there. Like at that arena, when I was there at the Mandalay Bay, when I was watching that show, I was in Weider's suite, right? I'm sitting there with the advertisers and the whole Weider department, basically the Weider people, right? And our guests. And I remember I'm sitting there, I'm just talking to somebody, you know. There's another thing that shocked me. That was Kevin Levrone. I've told this story. Kevin Levrone, I saw him 12 weeks before this show, and he was at Weider HQ, and Kevin Levrone literally weighed like 175 pounds. And, you know, he's like, hey, man, where do you live? I'm like, dude, I live in Sylmar. He's like, cool, man. My girl lives in Sherman Oaks. Give me a ride home. I'm like, yeah, no problem, dude. It's on the way. Well, sort of on the way. In traffic, it added a lot of time. But it's LA, bro. And so anyway, we're driving. I'm making small talk. I'm like, so, you know, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, he's like, yeah, you know, I'm thinking of, I think I'm going to do the Olympia in 12 weeks. I'll start my prep on Monday. And I looked at him, and at that time, I think I weighed like 175. No, 2001, I was about 230 pounds. I was still in my powerlifting phase, right? I remember I'm bigger. I'm bigger than Kevin Levrone. I'm bigger than him. I'm obviously not as lean, whatever. I'm bigger than this guy. And I'm not even thinking about bodybuilding at the time. Again, I'm only 22 years old, right? I'm looking at him and I was like, all right, bro, you go ahead and do that, knowing that Ronnie's coming in just fucking mad because he got beat by Gunther Schlagerkamp at the Show of Strength. And I shit you not, there were two things that shocked me. Kevin Levrone walked on the stage. Remember, I saw him, I think it was 10 or 11 weeks. It wasn't 12. It was much, I think it was less. Kevin Levrone got on stage, and I'm sorry to waste your time with this, got on stage. He was like all of 240, 245. Again, he was like 180, 170. I don't even know. His best shape ever. I believe he came in second that year. And that was impressive, but nobody saw Levrone when I saw him. So nobody was like, whatever that was. I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. So long story short, nobody knew what to expect from Ronnie. And Ronnie comes out, and I shit you not, like when people come out, you either have boos or you have loud cheers. When Ronnie came out, now people erupted later. When he first stepped on stage, there was silence. You could have heard a pin drop. He was so impressive that people were too aghast, were too shocked to even cheer and clap. That is how insane he looked. I've never seen anything like it. I don't think we ever will. It was such an amazing time in bodybuilding. It was just insane. It was just absolutely nutty. It was something that I've never seen before. And it was, oh my goodness, was it amazing? Was it amazing? It was so friggin' amazing to watch. Anywho, Ronnie walks out. Holy shit. Holy shit. That was the best physique we've ever seen. So getting back to this picture, again, 99, I believe that was in Long Beach, California. You have Flex, probably the most genetically gifted bodybuilder, in my opinion, next to Kevin Levrone and Phil Heath. A lot of people say he was the guy, but I think Levrone, because he only trained for a few months out of the year, maybe 3. And then, of course, Phil Heath, he's the gift. And dude, these are just phenomenal athletes. But I also want you to look at below. What do you see? You see a different pose. You see everybody in the bottom picture doing a vacuum, whereas nobody in the top picture is doing a vacuum. Although I do believe, if I'm judging, I like the look of the 99. Even though I pull a vacuum on my front double bi, I really, really, really enjoy the look when you see abs. I mean, I don't think there should be a vacuum contest, but I think it got so outrageous with the guts that bodybuilders were doing vacuums just to show that they could control their guts, because it was such an issue. And I think if you're looking at the best vacuum in the business, Lunsford, because of his just such a thick rib cage, his vacuum's insane. Tremendous lats, tremendous arms. And I think he beat Hottie at this show. I do. I know there was a big uproar when Derek won. Yeah, I didn't see it that way. I thought Derek had him pretty handily. But that's just whatever. You know, we all have our preferences. It's a very subjective sport. But you look at Samson, and I think he's getting better and better every year. Samson, because he towers over everyone, there's a lot of muscle, a lot of bodies that fill out, right? But Samson is on the come up. You got other guys like Hunter. You got other guys like Andrew Jack. You got my man right here, Desmond Gelderblom, saying Andrew Jack is coming. Yeah, he definitely could be. I think it's a possibility that Andrew Jack will absolutely do something special. I think it is absolutely a possibility. But let me get this. Let me just be straight with you guys. There's one flaw when we look at these pictures. And I know that Dorian Yates, when Brandon Curry won in 2019, said that Brandon would not place top 6 in the 90s. And I disagreed with that. And I got a lot of heat for that, because people are like, oh, shut up. You're just saying that because you're Brandon's friend. No, I really believe that, because we're looking at pictures. Let me explain to you why I don't think we can make a sound judgment based on these pictures. By the way, guys, on YouTube, we are live right now. So if you have any questions or anything, ask in the chat. And of course, if you're watching this later, I want you to comment down below. I want you to like this video, subscribe to this channel, click on the notification bell. And I also made a coupon code for tigerfitness.com just for you guys for 10% off the entire site. And what the hell did I make that? What did I make that code? Oh yeah, the code is Yummy Cookie. YUMMYCOOKIE. Code Yummy Cookie gets you 10% off the entire site at tigerfitness.com. Please go support us. What do you notice about this? Lights. So look at the lights. Look how they're reflecting. The lighting in the bottom picture is shit. It is dark. It is dreary. The top photo looks like there's a filter run through it. That's how good it looks. The light is shining from up above. It's displaying their lines. It's displaying their striations. It's displaying their physique better. The bottom picture is washed out. Another thing is the cameras. So the cameras these days are much better than the cameras in the 90s and early 2000s. Whereas you're on the most amazing cameras that get every detail. When you have a lower quality camera, and you guys, you know this is true because you've done it. Have you ever taken a picture? Like when I do a video on my, I have this, it's what I do my vlogs with. It's a 4K camera, right? When I do my videos on that versus my iPhone, I look fucking way better. I look way better. Even when I do my videos on that in my filming room, my Nashville room, versus when I use this this desk cam, dude, I look way better. You can see the veins, everything come out. And I'm talking in just videos of me talking shit. So you have better cameras above. show more, better cameras, which show more flaws, show more detail. When above, you're just seeing lower pixelation, better lighting. In my opinion, these pictures aren't comparable. They're not comparable. You can't compare pictures from the 90s to pictures from today. All you could do is look at shape. And if I'm looking at shape here, I want to ask you guys this. From top to, and also they're posing differently, right? Everybody in the front, now I kick out my right leg on the front double bi. Everybody below is doing a square stance front double bi. No twisting, no nothing. You look how Flex is twisting his body like classic physique. And Ronnie is also sticking his leg out like more of a classic pose, whereas everybody in the front is posing in a way that will make them look more blocky, okay? It just is what it is. So you have that. But if you look at body part to body part, who has better midsection? Well, I mean, these guys have small waists above, but I mean, everybody below has very small waists. They all are doing a vacuum. Now, if you look at the legs, the size is about the same based on these pictures. But again, the lighting above brings out all those beautiful quad muscles that aren't being shown in the picture below. And the reason is the camera quality and the lighting. That is the reason. At the end of the day, we will never know who would win one-on-one, Ronnie in his prime versus Phil in his prime. Ronnie in his prime versus Derek in his prime. Although I will say Ronnie would probably kill everybody still. But I look at it this way. We go through eras, right? We go through different eras of football, eras of whatever it is. And you know what? It kind of, it kind of makes it where we just have different looks through the generations. And I don't see bodybuilding getting worse. I see bodybuilding getting better. I see bodybuilding evolving. I actually see guys who are looking crazy, right? But they're paying attention to their shape. Whereas you look at when we went through the Mass Monster era, you had Art Atwood, you had Marcus Rule, impressive. By the way, God rest Art's soul. He's in heaven right now. I just see bodybuilding being better now. Meaning, I think we're paying attention to everything. They're going after size, but they're also maintaining quality and shape. And when someone is off and doesn't come in shape, they don't win. Or else Big Ramy would have never lost. Big Ramy came in shape 1 year. 1 year. And he won. He did win in 2020. 2021 was a gift. Ramy should have never won in 2021. Should have never won that show. Ramy he was soft in the morning and he was flat in the evening. Or did I have it backwards? There was not one striation on that man's body. That was a gift. And look, I wasn't sitting at the judges' table. I didn't see what they saw. Again, photos are not from where the judges sit. They're looking at an upward angle, looking on stage, and they got the best view in the house. So unless you're sitting with the judges, you can't really make that call, right? I'm going to get to chats in a second. Would love to know your thoughts, but I actually think bodybuilding is in a great spot. I think we have a lot of top guys, and I think that this year's Olympia, I say this every year because I love this shit, will be the best Olympia we've ever had. Derek, Hottie, Samson, Andrew Jacked, Nick Walker. Guys, it's a great time to be a bodybuilding fan, y'all. Anyway, let's get to comments. We have one guy, just one guy. I don't even know if Rumble feed's working. I don't know what's going on Rumble, but I'm going to make sure we got it right. And regardless if you normally watch it on Rumble, I'm sorry. But anyway, check it out, guys. We'll answer all this stuff. Helmet goes, disease and premature death. Okay. So I want to ask you this. Who's healthier? A bodybuilder or a morbidly obese person? 50% of America are overweight. Number one comorbidity. Arnold's what, in his 70s? I don't know. Is it healthy? No. Is any sport at an extreme level healthy? No. Why don't you go on someone's football podcast and talk about some fucking CTE and some concussions? At the end of the day, if you are doing an extreme sport at an extreme level, you are taking risk of brain damage, of injury, of death. Soccer players, keeling over dead. Don't know why that's happening. You got soccer players who fall back, take a bad hit their head, and they die too. So are we going to go on their podcasts and say their sport's all about death and fucking disease? Does anyone want to end up like Ronnie Coleman? I don't know. Does anyone want to end up like paralyzed football players? Does anyone want to end up limping around because they took too many hits or they tore their ACL playing tennis? You tell me, man. Hey, man, you have to sacrifice to be great. Ronnie sacrificed. And honestly, you had an Olympic poll, I believe back in the 90s, where they asked these guys, would you take 10 years off your life to win a gold medal? If I'm not mistaken, almost 100% said, hell yeah. Would I be like Ronnie to be the greatest bodybuilder of all time? Yeah. I would trade places with him. Would you? I'm asking everybody. Bodybuilding is evolving into a cemetery. So how many bodybuilders are there, Helmet? A lot. There's a lot of people who partake in bodybuilding. Let's say we hear of 10 deaths a year. What percentage is that of people who compete in bodybuilding? It's actually very low. It's actually very low. So I'm not saying that extreme bodybuilding is healthy at all. I'm saying that, look, nothing comes without risk. And bodybuilding does have some risks. Not going to lie, not going to sugarcoat it. Bodybuilding, when you're taking drugs and you're training hard, really hard, and you're dieting and you're taking diuretics and whatever you're doing, yep, there's definitely going to be risks involved. But these guys are aware of the risks. They are. So you either watch it, enjoy it, and enjoy the commitment they made to winning their sport, or you can sit here and cry like a little bitch because they're doing something that they love to do. Look, man, what about cops? A lot of cops get shot, right? A lot of cops get killed on the job. Dangerous job. Would you say so? Oil rig workers. What do you think? What do you think? What are that? The ice fishing guys, the guy who goes fishing, those guys, they die really high, really a lot. They die a lot. Dangerous jobs. So are you going to talk the same shit to them? Should they not do something they love to do that provides for their family because you think it's bad for them? In my opinion, look, man, I'm not taking those risks. I'm just not taking those risks. But if someone takes those risks to put on a show, to earn money, to support their family, whatever it is, I'm not going to be sitting here, talking shit on them. I'm going to put some respect to their commitment. I'm going to put some respect to what they're doing. I'm going to put some respect to their sacrifice because that's commitment. Again, is it for me? No. No, man. I placed dead fucking last in the New York Pro. I'm not taking those risks, and my placing shows. But they do. And instead of crying that it's unfair, they take the risk. No, I understand. I understand what's involved in that. And that's why you can't do anything but respect that. Okay, from Vigilia Aeternis, or riding on Walmart on a wheelchair because they are too obese to walk and get their food. You know what? Yeah, at least these guys are taking risks to be great. A lot of people just take risks because they're too lazy to fucking move around or watch what they eat. Again, obesity is the #1 comorbidity. It is the real pandemic. Bodybuilding is not a pandemic. Bodybuilding, if you do it naturally, or if, let's say, even TRT, like you need TRT because your testosterone declines as you age, extremely healthy. In fact, if you looked at the morbidity risks, if you look at how to decrease morbidity, one is to be stronger, one is to maintain muscle mass. Both things the activity of bodybuilding does. Eating healthy foods, bodybuilding promotes that, right? So you have strength. A lot of people who bodybuild also do cardio, VO2 max, zone 2 cardio. So I just want to bring it up to you, man, that again, bodybuilding is a very healthy hobby. The way I do it is extremely healthy, and I've shared my blood markers many times. Bodybuilding at this level, not so healthy. But again, any sport at a high level is not healthy. Soccer, not healthy. Baseball, not healthy. 99-mile-per-hour baseball comes at you and hits you in the arm, in the chest, in the fucking head. Dude, have you ever seen how fast these balls go? My nephew's a Division I catcher. Dude, he has to catch those balls, man. Right in front of him, a friggin' guy swinging a bat. Can hit him in the head. How would you suggest growing lagging body parts? Focus on them. Put more attention on them, right? So like if I had a lagging body part, which I've done, just put more attention. Like I train everything twice a week now. But when I really needed to grow body parts, like my legs, my arms, sometimes, look, I'll be real, classic physique and capricious. I can't even pronounce that. I'll be real with you. Sometimes genetics just fuck you up, and all you could do is make them suck less. But to bring up lagging body parts, you just need to pay more attention to them. Be sure to train with science in mind, but train hard, right? Like be sure to take your sets, like your working sets, within 1 to 2 reps of failure, and train them more frequently. Like different body parts, different things. Arms you could train every other day, whereas something like hamstrings take longer to recover. Depends on the body part, but my advice would be to focus on them. What place would C-Bum get this year in Open with his classic look from last year? I agree with Lavroni, dude. I think Bumstead could win the Open if he wanted to. I do. I think he could. Train 5 times a week or 6 times. I generally recommend 4 to 5 times. I don't think there's anyone in this world who could actually train hard and recover from 6 times a week. I just don't see it happening. 6 times is overkill in my opinion. Hey, bro, nothing personal. I just think life is too precious. It is precious. But again, if you think life is precious, I want to see you go on Outkick. I want to see you go on Dan Patrick. I want to see you go on Pat McAfee. And I want to see you go in their chat. And I want to see you talk shit about how every one of those athletes in pro sports is risking their life. Because life is too precious, right? If life is too precious, then you should care about more than just bodybuilders, right? Shouldn't you care about cyclists? Shouldn't you care about, I don't know, baseball players, football players, rugby players? Again, shit happens when you're competing at a high level. I shared a joke with a watermelon and it laughed until it turned red in the rind. Great dad joke, Brett Hong. I'm 25 minutes late. Did I miss the comparison? The Olympia says standard Ronnie Cole make everyone more competitive than Lundford and Chuba. I think you missed it. I don't agree. I don't think that Nick Walker would train any harder if Ronnie was there. I think you're seeing a bunch of guys who are training and working as hard as they can to place as well as they can so they can make much money as they can. I think that's what's happening. I don't think that putting Ronnie in the lineup will make the other people better. I just don't. And I think that bodybuilding right now, if we were to swap, we put people here and there, if we were able to do that, we had a time machine. I think Lunsford would still place really high. Would he win the Mr. Olympia if Phil Heath or Ronnie were there? We'll never know. Probably not, but we'll never know. Are we ever going to MTS Nutrition Energy Drink? Nope. I do not want any part of that energy drink smoke. It's a saturated market. I don't need to raise the funds for that. I'm going to do what I do. And also, by the way, guys, I want to say, Cookies and Cream Outright Bar will be back in stock tonight at tigerfitness.com. So go there around 5 p.m. Eastern Standard, maybe 6. Go to tigerfitness.com. Get your Cookies and Cream Outright Bar. Coupon code is Yummy Cookie. YUMMYCOOKIE. Yummy Cookie gets you 10% off the entire site at tigerfitness.com. Next question. What is your prescribed TRT dose? Do you decide not to talk about that anymore? Update. I'll say it, but everyone's going to call me a liar. I take 150 milligrams of testosterone a week. That's it. Keeps me in the 900 to 1100 range. That's it. I mean, yeah, it hasn't changed. I mean, the reason I don't really talk about it much is because then I get hate videos about how I'm a liar. And I'm really done being called a liar. What does leg day and sex have in common? When done right, you can't walk for days. Brett Hong is the dad joke of the day. When you stop using PEDs, you end up looking terrible. Arnold, Zane all look terrible. Now do Robbie Robinson. Are you going to do Robbie Robinson or no? It's all about lifestyle, dude. Have you ever been to a Masters show like Masters USA and seen a lot of these guys who've come? A lot of these guys look great, who've come off, who've been on, who've not been on. It's about lifestyle. Like Arnold was focusing on being governor and banging his maid. Like Arnold had other things in mind. Like, yeah, it is what it is. Some people age well, some people don't. Some people pay attention to his physique, some people don't. Have you seen Tom Platz? He still looks amazing. What's up, Video Game Gooner? How you doing, bro? Why are watermelons such good entrepreneurs? They always have seed money. Very good. Very good. MTS whey flavors, we have 8. We have 8. I'm good. We do have 1 flavor coming in the next probably 2 months. That's it. 8 is a fucking lot of flavors. It's a lot of fucking flavors. You can mix and match. We got the 6-pound bundles. How many flavors do you want me to have? 20? Like, dude, nah. We're going to keep it under 10. Like our mistake before is we had too many damn flavors. Anyway, guys, I'm going to cut it there. It's been 30 minutes. Thanks so much for chiming in, joining in. I'm going to leave you with an ad because, well, I got shit to sell. Again, code YUMMY Cookie, YUMMYCOOKIE, code YUMMY Cookie. Gets you 10% off everything at tigerfitness.com. Support us, support companies that love you, support companies that don't hate you. And that's us. Give us a shot, tigerfitness.com. Oh, and Albert Beckles, there's another one, Healthy Bodybuilding. He was natty too. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Leaving you with ad. I'm Marc Lobliner. That's not a game. Everyone, Marc Lobliner here. And it's time to face the truth. You can embody beauty and you can ooze sexiness, but without health, it's just a facade. The essence of true beauty and strength roots from a healthy body and mind. And that's a cold, hard fact. Now, I present to you the game changer, the holy trinity of weight loss. This isn't your run-of-the-mill supplement bundle. This is your lifeline to breaking barriers and skyrocketing your progress like never before. Trust me when I say you have not seen anything like this before. And when the night falls, No Morbidity takes the wheel. Your nighttime companion that keeps grinding, even when you're dreaming, aiding and torching fat, reining in that appetite, and prepping the battleground for tomorrow's victories. Clean, undisturbed sleep while staying on the course of your weight loss journey. That's the dream, and now it's your reality. So, if you're hell-bent on shattering those plateaus and obliterating your goals, the holy trinity of weight loss is your golden ticket. This isn't just supplementation. It's a clarion call of your resolve to take the reins, to redefine your limits. This journey is monumental, and it begins with a choice. The holy trinity of weight loss is not just a pick, it's an investment in a healthier, stronger, unstoppable you. Let's grab